What up gamers, I'm Jason, and today on Dice & Dragons, I'm going to be unboxing Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. It is published by Gremlin Games and Ares Games. It is designed by Nunzio, Surace and Simone Romano. Now, if I happen to mispronounce your names and you see the video, feel free to let me know how to say it properly down below in the video description. Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles is set a few thousand years before the original Sword and Sorcery Immortal Souls. Much like that game, it is a cooperative game for 1 to 5 players and plays in 60 minutes plus. In this game, players will be taking control of immortal heroes who have been resurrected to deal with a threat that is only, well, they're the only heroes that can deal with it. That's why they were brought back from the dead. This is a large multi-act campaign. Here we've got Act 1, the first wave of the all-in pledge that was delivered, which we will be unboxing. So I'm not quite sure what the story is, but you will need to venture across the world, explore different locations and towns as you level up your hero and become strong enough to save the world. I think I've talked enough about the game. Let's take a look at what's in the box. Now we're going to take a look at what's in the box for Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. This is the core game, and I've just unwrapped some of the plastic so that it'll make it a little easier to show you the components. So we do have all of our tokens, and a lot of this stuff is going to be moved off camera. As you can see, I don't have really much extra room. So some of the tokens, we have some of the tiles. I'll just put it over to the side like this, even if some of it is off camera. I really do like the look of the tiles. It looks very cool. And while I do have Sword and Sorcery, I have not played the game as of yet. When this hit Kickstarter and finding out that chronologically this is, the first story, I thought it'd be pretty cool to check this out first, just because it made a little more sense. Also, with everything going on in 2020, the group that we were supposed to start the game with temporarily fell apart, and since then people have moved on to other things. So lots of the tokens here. We were just looking at the tiles. We got the doors. I do have the doors, 3D doors from the previous campaign. Well, got them on Kickstarter. We got some of the ghost tokens, some damage token minus armor. Really looking forward to learning what all this stuff does. Here we've got what looks to be some locations, and they do pop out of what they're in. I'm not sure why. I'll leave them as is for the moment. Could be to put some stuff around them. So these look to be a different location. Looks gray castle. We even have some cards around there. Here we have just some quick reference guide for a lot of the different actions and symbols in the game, which is always great to have. Here we've got the heroes, and I neglected to open the hero pack up. I'm kind of wishing I'd done this beforehand. Luckily, there's a thick edge here, so I should be able to get this open. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. I want to get the rest of these books out, but let's get this started. It's a little tricky to get the hero pack open, but it's not going to be overly difficult because of the nice edge that I've got. There we go. Happy that it wasn't too difficult to get at least a little bit of an opening, because this is a great way to damage cards. I absolutely despise this type of packaging. Like I said, we'll come back to the heroes in just a moment, but I wanted to get that taken care of since I was able to locate that edge. Had a little bit of plastic stuck there. I used my teeth to get it opened up. So here is the storybook for Ancient Chronicles. We have a map on the back, and we're not going to look at this in too much detail, as you get lots of spoilers, as this will tell you how to set up your quest and what you're going to be doing as you're playing through the game. Lots of cool stuff. Looking forward to checking it out. Now, the Book of Secrets are different things that you're going to reference as you make decisions during the campaign. Then here we have the rule book for Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. Start at the beginning. I do like the fact that we have a list of contents and summary at the beginning. A little bit of introduction to the world, how to set up the adventure, how you set up the table, traveling. So lots of cool stuff. And there are no reference guides on the back, which I usually take a look at. As you saw, they were included. And I do like this color-coded aspect, so it does seem like it's divided up into sections, so you can look things up very particularly, like how to play the game, and then maybe some stuff related to enemies, and this looks to be like in-game effects and managing some of your ranking and stuff like that. Now here we've got the cards, which we'll look at next. We got a pack of dice, and these are the components to put the spinners together. We'll open up the dice. Now I did not get any extra dice for this game because I do have some extras for the original, and if I'm not mistaken, they are all the same. So we get a whole bunch of these D10s that we'll be using for the game. We'll get rid of that. And we're looking at these, taking a look at the cards, because we'll try to take a look at the heroes at the same time, if they are related. So all of these are the different monster cards. As this is unboxing, not checking this all out in detail. This looks to be like a tracking card. So annotate and narrate, so reference card for key things. I'd probably copy this and not write on the card itself. And these look to be just the different villain and monsters, the big bads, and other type of monsters that you'll be facing. I do love the art and the way the cards look. Well, we're taking a look at those. Let's dive into the heroes. I'll try to remember who's who when we get to the miniatures. We got the larger sheet here for the elf rogue and the elf knight. We have Aspides and Aspides in different forms. So this is looking like we've got our two big bads. And here we have the heroes of the campaign, and don't have their names because their names should be on cards, but so you can see you can play them as male or female. Yeah, you get a little bit of a different, well, not different aspects, sorry, not male or female. It's depending on the path that you're going to choose for your character, which side you will use. I'll take a quick look at these giant packs of cards. We don't want to spend too much time diving through all these components. Just really want to give you an idea what you get. You've got treasure, traps, then what looks to be we got quest-specific items, and then gear for mages, Xantares, gear for all of the different characters and the classes. So we'll flip this over, just take a look in more detail. So some guilds, fighters, looks to be like allies we can get, quest-specific items. We have some traps that we might find and get into. That's never any fun. Here we've got a bunch of the gear and treasure that we'll be able to locate as we progress through the game. Here we've got the hero cards. So as you can see, these are all the different actions for a different hero, and they relate to the different hero paths. So we got all the names for the heroes right there. I normally would say all the names, but I'm not really going to go over it since we don't have a clear name for them. And I'd have to just look at the cards and figure it out, but you get the idea. I mean, the heroes in the game are Xantares, Jean, Robin, Thorgan, obviously the dwarf, and Artemis. And they are actually the same way they are in the packages. So I'm Artemis, Thorgan, Robin, Jean, and lastly is Xantares. You can see it right there. So we've taken a look at the heroes, the first of the card packs. We'll take a quick glance into the rest of the card packs. Then we'll dive in and look at what I think most people are going to be excited about, the miniatures. So it looks like we've got a lot more hero cards. The packaging's loose, but does not want to give. So here we've got some different companions. Let's take a look. Some more cards for Artemis, some different talents, the Ghost Soul stuff, event cards, enemy powers, enemy cards, encounter cards, And then what looks to be just some more equipment and probably some of the starting equipment that we'll get in the game. Let's take a look at stuff on the other side, the companions. Not quite sure what these are, since I haven't played it yet. Some of these are just different items that we get. Starting weapon, encounter cards, different enemies, their types. And they're definitely related to the big cards, but looks like these are potentially maybe some modifiers to them as well. So lots of cool stuff that we're getting in here. This is another, those are the event cards, and then just some more of the hero cards. We've got a space for some more cards. Looks to be like something that you can use while you're playing the campaign, as you clearly will not be using every single card in this box, depending on the heroes that you pick. So let's lift this up and take a look at the miniatures. Now, I'm probably going to end up chucking this at some point as I try to get Sword and Sorcery compressed into a more manageable state with all the accessories. Fortunately, we've got a lot of extra room for the moment. It's fairly easy. I'm going to put the minis just right here as we try to take a look at all the different types. We'll try to go through the heroes first. So very cool miniature for Jean. Here we've got Xantares. Like the look, lots of detail, and I'm sure they look fantastic painted. Looks to be like one of the different companions from the guilds you can get. We've got a fighter and a mage. Do love the fact that we can get some more characters. We saw this companion card as well. A hound. Here we've got Artemis, who definitely does look like the goddess of the hunt. We've got Thorgan. Looks very cool. Lots of little detail on the minis. And then we've got Robin right here, who is looking very roguish. Now, I'm not going to worry about the names and types of the minis. Like, there are some differences in the sculpts, but we'll just go through all of the different enemy types. Take a look at the miniatures quickly. The different sculpts will make it fairly easy to keep track of hit points, but when I'm looking at this one right here, they do look fairly similar. So we'll actually lift out the other mini and see if there's some slight differences to them. So they are all different sculpts. Very cool. And I think the color coding also helps if you're facing off against some different types of minis. It'll make it a little easier just to identify which is which, what their abilities are. Not that I've ever had any difficulties doing that, but variety is always something that I have appreciated. And colored minis is something that I've definitely started to enjoy a little more because of my love of Power Rangers. The elves look fantastic. I mean, that's one thing to be said about the Sword and Sorcery miniatures. If you love this game and you also play RPGs, you'll be able to bring these into your games if needed. The giant cobra, awesome looking. Oh, and then this one is just a giant snake. So some nice variety. And then we're going to come back to the purple minis. Those are the two big bads. Here we've got an amazing looking Minotaur. A Scorpion. So while it looks like the purple are the really big bads, we've got some other bosses that we'll face as well. Here we've got the elf mage or summoning snakes. Don't know exactly what she's doing, but quite terrifying. Here we've got this other nasty creature that reminds me of like Anubis. Here we've got the elven knight riding this dragon thing, and then we have the elven sorceress in her other demonic form. Very cool, and there's a lot of nice quality of the minis. I actually think I forgot to take these out. I hate spiders, so just in case, I'm gonna take them out now, just show you the spiders. So lots of cool detail, and I do like the web. It's something that you really don't see on a lot of spider miniatures. It doesn't feel all that fragile, but you want to be careful with it. And yeah, there's definitely going to be a fairly easy way to sort all these minis in this box. So if you do have a lot of the extras coming, you're going to want to condense some boxes. I don't know, maybe even the original with Ancient Chronicles. Not sure why you do that, but I mean, if you're like me with a large game collection and this is just one of those awesome games that you want to keep, well, you got to figure out different ways to store it. So we've taken a look at what's in the box for the core box of Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. Now keep it right here as I'll be boxing everything back up and then coming back at you with our review. Well, not a review. Eventually there will be a review for this game, but with the unboxing of the stretch goals and the awesome box that was a special gift to all backers for all of the delays that occurred with Sword and Sorcery. There's an awesome box to sort everything. Now there's a lot of smaller boxes to go through, and I did take some time to pre-open those just to save time on the unboxing. But keep it right here. I'm all done getting this back in the box, and I'll be right back. Now I'll take a look at the stretch goal box that was sent with Wave 1 of Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles. But before that, we're going to quickly take a look at the Tristan Hero Pack. Now it does say Ancient Chronicles, but it is the only content that you weren't able to get from the original Kickstarter in retail at all. So here's the hero, and you can see what we've got for him. I'm not going to open up its cards and go through everything. It would take just a long time. We got a lot of boxes. So we have the hero, we have his ghost form, and his cards. So that's what you get in the Tristan Hero Pack. And I really want to try to keep this section of the unboxing moving. There's a lot of little boxes. We're going to open them all up and take a look at them, but I don't think I'm going to showcase the miniatures just in a lot of detail. It would take too much time. So I'll slide the box over. We'll have some room for some content, but as you can see, we've got plenty of stuff to unpack in the box. So I did end up with some extra dice for Ancient Chronicles. It was just part of the all-in pledge and the stretch goals. Didn't think I got them, but always glad to have more dice. Just put this over here. We have the Genryu and Shakiko hero packs. So we get the two heroes. Of course, double-sided for their two different paths that you can take. The tokens, well, those are upside down, but the tokens for both heroes. We have their miniatures as well, their ghost minis, and then not sure why we have the red miniatures, but I do believe they can be used as enemies as well. So as you can see, white monk, humanoid, so they can be used as enemies, so you have those miniatures as well. And then we have the white monk and black monk rules and cards that explain how to use them. So yeah, I'm definitely not going to take out all the minis. That would just make this unboxing really long. We already took a nice long detailed look at what's in the core box, but going through every box and every single miniature would just take a very long time. Now there's some stuff at the bottom here, so I will be putting the boxes off to the side as we move through them. So here we've got the Sigrid and Sigurd hero pack. We've got the hero. I believe I'm missing one of the other heroes. Yeah, so there is Sigrid. Totally reminiscent of Thor. It's pretty cool. The cards to use them as enemies, and then the nice explanation of the two heroes. Really like having a lot of choice, and I know there's going to be a lot of expansion content coming. Not sure how it's going to work if you got to play through all the different acts as one hero, or if you'll be able to potentially jump back and forth between different heroes. Now, I started opening these up, and we'll take a look at these quickly. So these are card boxes just to help you keep everything sorted, which I always think is pretty cool, and I'm really happy to have those. Here we have a cloth bag. I will not be needing this. Well, actually, I was going to put those back, but let's put those here. So we got a cloth Sword and Sorcery bag. Excuse me, not sure exactly what it's for, but potentially to draw some tokens and things like that. Here we've got the Chaotic Familiars, and we'll take off the plastic at least, just so you can get a good look at the minis, and we'll showcase one of them just because it's you can get some more details. Oh, actually got to showcase the dragon. So pretty cool miniatures. We've got the cards for these different familiars, and not sure exactly how they're included into the game, but we do have the rules and reference sheet for them and how they work. So it's always fun just to have lots of cool stuff. I mean, there's a ton of stuff to dive into in this. We also have Madara that we want to dive into, and Infinity Defiance. We want to get Descent back to the table. We've got the new Descent coming. I think I need a year off or from the day job just to be able to sit and play through all of these amazing dungeon crawl games that we have. And all of this is definitely going to get repackaged, as you can see. Getting them out isn't too difficult, but can be a pain to slide everything back into the box. So we've got the lawful familiars, so I won't take them out. You can see them, I think, just fine. You got an idea. I wanted to just showcase the quality of the minis. Really think it's fun that we've got chaotic and lawful. Goes perfectly with the two different paths that your heroes may be following. Now we've got the special Kickstarter set. And we'll take a little bit more look at this stuff in detail here. So as you can see, we have a new hero, new villain miniature. I believe this is for the elf that we saw, Tristan, as a villain. So we do get some cool stuff. So yeah, we got the new enemy, the demon, the warlord, which is Tristan. We get some details about Tristan here. As a standard bearer, so we got his information here, as well as Mist. It was very cool. Love the look of her character, actually. And always love when we get more variety than less variety in the game. And suffice it to say, haven't even got this to the table, and almost forgot these. I know I'm going to have tons and tons of variety, and this box is going to just be a fantastic way to sort a lot of the content, even by axe. Maybe keep some of these boxes to store different heroes in, but it's going to be pretty cool. So here we've got the challenge set. So Act 1 challenges, the monster cards. Here we have just the smaller enemy cards, and we'll take these out just to get, well, at least take them a little bit up out of the plastic. But yeah, we got 2 layers here, so good thing we're taking them out. So you can just see these new, more challenging enemies, and for the different acts, but they are similar to some of the monsters that we saw in the core game and the base set, but they're different colored to show you that they do represent the challenge set for those enemy types. Very cool. I love the look of the elves once again. You can see we've got just same sculpts, actually, it looks like, just different colors to symbolize the different nature of these enemies. So we'll get this all put back in the box. Yeah, and you can see we've gone through what, about five or six boxes now. And I'm trying to keep this speeding along, but it's not the easiest. So here we have some new boards, and this is pretty cool, actually. I didn't think about opening these beforehand. I probably should have, but it's not too bad to get this plastic open. Once you get in there, it's usually pretty easy. But it's a giant pain in the butt. I should have had something to open this with. I'm not a fan of this type of packaging. For those that have seen our unboxings before, you know that I really don't like this. I think it's rather wasteful. Doesn't help me, doesn't help the environment. It's just for getting things into the game. So we have something, a nice bag to sort different items. And then what we've got here are cardboard versions of the character cards, which I think are cool. And what we've gotten here so far is all the cardboard for the heroes from the base game. Now this is all going to get punched out. Right now I'm going to try to put it back as is, as best as possible. But having heroes upgrading the cardboard is something really nice that I think I'm really going to appreciate, actually. I was going to try to put it back, but it's just getting in the way. We've got a bunch more stuff in there, so it looks like it's a cardboard. So here we've got just the Ghost Soul form. So this is for this 5 heroes that are included in the original game. We didn't have the Ghost Soul miniatures. We had standees. So now those are available. Here we've got the spawn gates and blood altars. So we do get some new items, which is pretty cool. And these just add some 3-dimensional elements that weren't in the game otherwise. So once again, just taking those tokens and giving you an upgraded experience. Here we've got the minions. Now the minions were also just tokens, so we get miniatures for them as well. As you can see, there's a ton of content. We've got the Nemesises, which is the evil version of your heroes. And of course, we have the monster cards and some different things for them, even like looks like Ghost Soul form or abilities. So you can face off against an evil version of yourself. How to include all these in the game, not quite sure yet. We've got the alternate hero set. So this is pretty cool. This is Ancient Chronicles alternate heroes. So these are different versions of the characters that you got. And as you can see, it looks to be like they are gender swapped. So it's pretty neat just to get some new stuff. So yeah, I do love the fact that we've got some alternate versions of the heroes. So you can use, like, let's see what we've got underneath here. Sorry, I'm getting a pile of stuff up in front of me as I'm going through all this stuff. And it's just the miniatures. So I believe you're going to be still using the same skill sets. And they're not giving you like a different card and a double-sided hero sheet. So here are included 2 versions of each hero and a double-sided hero sheet. Now, I do not see the hero sheets, so I'll have to double check. It may be included someplace else, or possibly I put it back in the wrong... you know what? It's stuck at the bottom, so we're not going to open this up. Oh, I had previously opened it up, so let's take a look at it. I do like this. So it is just the gender swapped. I don't like the way that packaging works at all. The gender swapped heroes, so you can play whichever class with whichever version of the character that you want. And I think that's something that's just really cool. The character's name will stay the same, and you get the same sets of cards, just a different look for the hero. Now, I've never been the biggest fan of alternate sculpts, but when you're doing something like this to promote inclusivity, I do find it to be a lot more interesting. And then these are just the alternate Ghost Soul forms for the heroes. Now I got a bunch of stuff piled up right here. Here we've got, don't want to open this up so they go everywhere. So background talents, whatever let's open it up. I'll probably put this just in the bag or something. So these are different special things for Act 1, like Daredevil, talents, new components. Here we've got traits. So something else that's new. So Artemis, so for the different characters, they can gain traits that will give them potential bonuses. Really neat. And then here we've got what looks to be just some special items that were set aside that are for some of the stuff here for Act 1. Now let's get to the bottom of the box and then get everything back in. Hopefully that goes back properly. I'm not going to keep this plastic packaging. You'll see a little bit what I'm doing here as I try to slide everything out. Oof. Yeah, it's all bending. It's all in front of me here. So as you can see, we just get the cardboard trying to lay it all flat so everything will fit in well, but it already wants to pop out, which is good. It's going to mean that punching and sorting this will be easy. But we've got the cardboard heroes. Just trying to get everything to lay flat, but it's not quite working. So you know what? As this one is already mostly punched, I'm just going to go ahead, punch it. These cardboard guys will come at the top later. So we'll lay them back, and you are getting the cardboard for all of the heroes, which I think is just awesome. Everyone that was included in the stretch goals here. Maybe we can get the Jeanne back in, but here we go. We've got Sword and Sorcery, Mighty Backer. So just a list of all the stuff that you get, and what you heard was a bunch of the cards falling. So it tells you what's missing, which I think is cool. And advertising, Abyssal Legends, a new game coming to Kickstarter. We have the Moonchild set from Act 2. We also have a nice map that's included, which I think is pretty cool. Here we've got just some explanation of the new cards, the side sheets, so some more rules. And then we have these cards that we didn't look at, which are the remembrances. This just seems to be some cool new things that you can use. Questionnaires, I'm not going to take a look, or maybe even just fun facts about Sword and Sorcery. So all in all, lots of cool stuff that was included in this box. Now let's just lift the stuff that I put back up, put down back up. We'll place these. Of course they'll move around, but laying them out like this at least is going to let me put everything back in the box fairly easily, I believe. So let's go ahead and try to remember how everything fit. Doing my best here. We got the challenge set. We've got, there we go. And all right, so we've got everything just about back where it goes. Let's take the cards. We'll slide them back in, and I'm going to keep cards like the traits here, the ones I knocked over, just off camera, as I'll put them in some small bags and get them back in the box. We got plenty of room for the bag over here. You can probably lay across the top. We can slide in our tuck boxes. We've got dice. So overall, as you can see, everything fits in nicely. The Tristan Hero Pack wasn't in there. So there you have it. We've taken a look at the stretch goal box for Sword and Sorcery. Now keep it right here, as I'll be coming back at you with a quick outro. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. If you like what you saw, don't forget to click that like button, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that YouTube will let you know when our next video is released. Also, down below in the video description, you will find links to all of our social media feeds, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you would like to see pictures of Julie and I playing Sword and Sorcery Ancient Chronicles when we get it to the table, they will be all over those feeds. You can also see some of the other games that we are currently playing. And then also in the video description is our link to multizone.ca, a great Canadian game store. Click that link, get 10% off your next purchase, especially if you're looking for Sword and Sorcery. I believe they have at least the original game and Ancient Chronicles in stock. You'll get that nice 10% off, and a portion of that purchase is returned to us, so it's a great way for you to support the channel as well. Now, popping up in front of me are going to be links to some of our previously released videos. Over here will be our most recent release, and to stick with the fantasy theme, and we'll pick our most popular dungeon crawl video that we've done. This will take you back to our review and how to play of Lord of the Rings Journeys in Middle-earth's expansion, the Shadowed Pass video. And don't forget, keep playing games.